Um, I just wanted to again thank the group for our amazing journey. It was like beyond what I ever thought it was going to be, and we really got to know each other in all different sorts of ways. And we were sitting in this van that had like four rows of seats, and so we kept changing who we were sitting next to during the 8 hours up and back. So we got to know each other in a deeper way, really. And we did also share rooms with each other, so that was great too. To just, it's really like, I never had any sisters. I only had 3 brothers. So it was really different to be with a group of women traveling together. I loved it. So what I wanted to talk a little bit about is, why do I make art about the incarceration? And a lot of it is an investigation of my family history and the trauma that they've gone through. But it's also about understanding why these stories are untold and the silent reaction to the history. And I want to explore my own connections and my feelings about, not only how we've experienced it, but how the rest of the world or the rest of the country experiences it. And I create a space for people to learn and to understand and to question the historic injustice. And really, for me, it's a healing action, and it's an activist action. Especially now with what's going on in the world, there's a lot of connections between this history that happened 75 years ago. So, okay, so some of you may have seen this piece. It's called Innocent Dreamer. And I actually made it for a show I had at the Peninsula Museum of Art. And I wanted to do a piece that was connected to the local area. So the Peninsula Museum of Art is in Burlingame. And so I wanted to make this piece about the kids that are kept in the horse stables in Tanforan, a racetrack. So I drew the young girl, who's actually my niece, full size, and actually got the cot off Craigslist. I tried to match the exact cot that I had seen in Minnie Kubo's book, and also went and did get hay and stuffed this mattress with hay, because that's what they had to do back then, as you probably know, is that they gave you a bag and you went out and you had to go stuff it yourself. And just the effect of doing that was so amazing. I felt like I was transported back to being a woman at that time, or a young girl at that time, stuffing this bag with hay, and I was sneezing, and I was itchy, and it was uncomfortable, and it was dirty, and it was just, it just made me feel as though I had a little bit of an inkling of what it was like to have been there doing that. So I'm actually in the process of making more of these children that I'm calling Innocent Dreamers. And so I have a venue coming up where I'm going to show, I'm saying 25, but it might be a little bit less, cots of children. And so I'm actually, if anyone has any stories they want to share with me about their time or their family's time of being in the camps as a child, I am going to collect these stories and present the stories with the installations, and they can be anonymous, so you don't want to have your name tied to it. But in addition to having children from the Japanese American incarceration, I'm also going to have children that are going to be depicted from the Native American boarding schools, and the slave children, and the current immigrant and refugee children that are being kept in I don't know what they're calling the camps, but basically prisons right now, and the children that have been separated from their families. So for me, in addition to making art that's touched my family, I'm sort of broadening the installation out to how does it connect to what's going on in the world right now. This is the shot that was in the film, because I was lucky enough to have enough room for this to fit in the van. And it's a different cot, but so we lugged this out there and installed it, and I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to do that, because it's just amazing to have it there on location. And that's another thing I was wanting to talk about. I was just talking about this with Karen, who is the dean at JFK, who's here. And we were talking about how important it is to capture these moments of us making art and videotaping and documenting the whole experience, because it's only, I mean, definitely it's in our hearts and it occurred and it's something we'll always remember, but for us to carry it forward, to show other people, and to use it as an educational tool is really, really important. And even though, you know, I remember being there and going, oh, do we have to do that again? You know, some of the things we did over again, and you know, we've recorded some of our talking, but it's resulted in an amazing video and more content. So now looking back on it, it also seems like it was worthwhile to capture these fleeting moments. Okay, so this is a piece called Illuminations, and I based it on the idea of boro stitching, and I call all these different word pieces of paper word clouds, and they're actually content I got from a survey that I did of descendants of Japanese American incarcerees. And so I sent out a survey to Facebook and on email, and I got 225 people that responded to the survey. And I'll tell you, I have a list of some of the questions. I did this survey because I really wanted to hear what people felt about their families being incarcerated. So I asked questions like, I asked questions like, what would you want to ask your family member that was incarcerated? What would you want to tell them? Do you think that this could happen again? How has this affected your life? And people were just amazing. I feel like there's a lot of untapped conversations and thoughts because people wrote like really long descriptions and thoughts about this. One of the things I asked, and this survey started 2 years ago, I asked, do you think that this could happen again? And you know, I asked this 2 years ago. Over 80% of the people said yes, and that's what's happening. So it was just, you know, quite touching and revealing that that was the response. So I don't know where I am with my time. Am I over? Okay. Well, anyway, so I'm done with my talk. But so basically, let me see. I just show you the other couple pictures really fast. These are some of the things that I picked from the responses. The impact of this kind of experience has long-lasting effects. I feel that I personally, and we as Japanese Americans have struggled with internalized racism because of it. And then this one says, with growing xenophobia, racist hysteria, blatant acts of violence against immigrants and the other in the U.S. today, this history of Japanese internment is more pertinent than ever. So basically, if I have the survey still online, and I printed out some survey questions, so if anyone's interested in responding to the survey, let me know. And if you have any stories you would like to share with me, I'd really appreciate it. And thank you very much.